Hey, gang, there are so many important issues to discuss in today's political, cultural, and economic climate, and I can't discuss them all here. In fact, YouTube and big tech won't let me talk about it all here. And that's why I have exclusive, uncensored live streams on Monday nights to cover everything. On Monday nights, I share all my thoughts and answer your questions in an in-depth, casual format that prepares you for this upcoming election with the truth. Today, I want to show you a quick clip from a recent stream that I hope will help you think clearly about these important issues, as well as encourage you to join our movement. Join an upcoming exclusive live stream, and I'll answer your questions by clicking the link in the description below and joining our community of courageous patriots building a parallel economy. I look forward to seeing you over there.
Well, Gregory Peterson says, Dr. Steve, has Disney lost enough that Iger would get fired or bought out?
Yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know. I don't know what their pain threshold is, but they have lost what I think the last stat I looked at is they lost something like 50% of their market value in the last 5 or 10 years. It's just they've been hemorrhaging money left and right. Disney Plus isn't working. Nothing that they're doing is working right now.
Yeah, I think Iger came out of retirement to fix this problem.
Yeah.
And so nothing's changed. So we'll see. He might have to step down.
Well, again, yeah, and you had a lot of these DEI based things were in the they were in the works over the last few months, so he's kind of inheriting a lot of this stuff. So
True.
We'll have to see. I mean, they tried to change the leadership at CNN. It didn't work. It didn't do any good. A lot of these brands may be hurt beyond repair, like Bud Light or something akin to that.
Well, Snow White, it seems like they're fixing their act, so maybe they'll figure it out.
That's right. They put an end to that. That's for sure.
Matt has an interesting question. He says, why don't Republicans just call their opponents baby killers? Are they afraid of the female vote?
Well, we know constitutional carry is sweeping the nation. Millions of Americans, and even you courageous patriots out there, you turley talkers, you're still stuck in blue or weak red states restricting your constitutional right to bear arms. Well, don't worry, gang. Countrywide Concealed is probably the quickest way to get carrying legally in the majority of the United States. That's right. You won't just be able to carry in your state, but in 84% of the whole of the US of A. It's as quick as watching a video and taking a quiz, and thanks to Countrywide Concealed, your family is that much safer from a myriad of threats no matter where you go. Getting a concealed carry license has literally never been easier, so just click on that link below and join the millions of patriots who've taken back their rights and started carrying legally with Countrywide Concealed today. It's a good question. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know the answer of why they don't just do it. I mean, some do. Some are pretty hardcore, pretty strong. Yeah, and it is getting to that point, especially. I mean, this is where Trump, I think, has been pretty good in a lot of his speeches. Do you remember when he did the State of the Union speech when he called out the New York radical pro-abortion law? And how it said, that it gives women the right now to kill a 9-pound baby in utero. I mean, he gave some pretty powerful imagery there. That's a speech that Nancy Pelosi ripped up the pages afterwards. So I don't know. Again, I hear you. It's an issue of persuasion and rhetoric, and if a baby killer could be, obviously a very accurate and powerful, rightfully condemning, term, but it may not be persuasive. And I just don't know. I haven't studied the issue to be able to give you an intelligent, a learned analysis of that. But I have a feeling it's going to be a question of persuasion. That's very strong, especially for those who have had abortions. It's very, very strong, and there's other ways of being able to be a bit more empathetic and sympathetic with women who've made that choice in a very confused time. Keep in mind, what's her name? Norma Corvey, who was the Roe v. Wade. She repented and became a very devout Christian, and spent her remaining years as a pro-life activist. But it wasn't by being confronted as a baby killer. It was being ministered to and counseled patiently over time to realizing the sin that she had committed.
My understanding of this, just as my 2 cents as a person in their 20s, my generation does not see abortion as pro-death. And I think that's something really important that Republicans need to understand. It's not that the left, for the most part, sadly, there are people in the Democratic Party that are this way. They are not looking at the issue of abortion as wanting to kill. They simply see it because they've been brainwashed to believe it's
Brainwashed, right?
part of their body as pro-woman, which we would agree with them on. We are pro-women as well. Their facts, though, are just off.
Right.
It is not you. It is a baby. So it's not that they are wanting to kill because they don't see it that way.
Right.
It's that they're wanting to stand up for themselves. And so it's a very complicated issue because they are wrong when the truth comes out, but they don't see it that way. And everything in the world is telling them that it's just a clump of cells. And
Yeah.
so I think, to Steve, your point, calling them a baby killer, that's really not helpful because that's not getting to the root of the issue.
Yeah, it's unintelligible. That's
Yeah.
it's. I mean, if you've been brainwashed to think it's just a clump of cells, number one, and number two, it's an issue of bodily autonomy.
Right.
To say I'm murdering anyone just makes you look unhinged. When
Yes.
when in point of fact, they're the unhinged ones. They're unhinged from reality, and so it requires that we break through that gap between their understanding of what they're doing and what they're actually doing.
I think it's so easy to villainize people on the left, and rightfully so. Sometimes they should be villainized, but there are so many people out there that have simply been brainwashed and are confused and are buying into the propaganda that's out there. So sometimes meeting them where they're at. You're really good at this, Steve, about saying, what is it that you always say? Relationship before being right.
Being right, yeah. Yes, oftentimes you have a choice of,
Yeah.
do you want to be right or do you want a relationship?
Yeah.
And we all know this with family, people who are on the hard left in our families. And I think one of the most tragic things you can do is break your relationship with them because they're wrong and you're right. It's bringing them over to understanding the right perspective on things, the true, the good, and the beautiful, is a long-term process. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So if they don't come right away after one conversation, don't send them into exile. I mean, make sure you maintain the relationship and empathy, and that itself will be a powerful witness to truth. I hope you enjoyed that clip of my Monday night Insiders Club live stream. Join us live next week by clicking on the link in the description below and joining the coalition of patriots worldwide, building a parallel economy to return to our roots of faith, family, and freedom. Click below right now.